Manatee County is at the center of Florida's heroin epidemic, and it's a very costly place to be. So far this year, the county has spent more than $63,000 to administer Narcan to revive overdose victims, and the year is on pace to be a record-setting year. Captain Todd Shear from the Manatee County Special Investigation Division is here to talk about the enormity of this tragedy. Thank you so much for coming today. Now, what is Narcan?
Okay, so Narcan is the brand name for the generic term is actually naloxone, and Narcan is actually, it's an antidote. What it does is it counteracts opioids, particularly those that are suffering from an overdose, and it will counteract it so that you can bring the person back, basically.
Wow. So if you get there and to treat somebody, how important is Narcan?
Oh.
What difference can it make?
Huge, save lives.
Really?
It's almost a miracle drug. World Health Organization said it's one of the most critical drugs in the world. It was created in 1971, and it's just a great tool in saving lives in our community.
So if you get there and you have it, you can save that life. If you don't, you might not be able to.
Yeah, great potential to save a life. Sometimes we can't do that. Someone that has taken too much of an opioid, they may have gone too far where we can't, but you want to give every effort to try to save a life, no doubt about it.
Well, who carries it?
Right now, EMS and fire do in Manatee County. Bradenton Police Department just got a grant to get some. Unfortunately, right now we don't have the funding to be able to get it, but we've been seeking to try to get this for over the last year and a half.
Wow, and I know that in Manatee County they said it's really bad. Kind of describe how big of an issue this is for this area.
Sure. Well, if we go back to 2012 when the area, we changed the laws in terms of opioid prescription pills, we think that's where it really germinated from. Shutting those pill mills down left a void for those folks that were addicted. They went to the streets. They started out with heroin. Heroin quickly transferred into fentanyl. Fentanyl transferred into carfentanil. And when you're talking about these drugs, they are extremely lethal, particularly when you think of carfentanil. It's 10,000 times more potent than morphine. Fentanyl is 100 times more potent. Yeah. So if you can look at it like this, a few granules, if you think of a few granules of salt, that is lethal. And the drug trafficking organizations, these drug dealers, these pushers, they're mixing this stuff. They're mixing it in their cars, and they're selling it out to the folks on the street. And unfortunately for these folks, they're suffering overdoses and many of them deaths.
Oh my.
So I understand from some of the reading I've done that when you know, Narcan's very expensive. You administer a dose, it's like $45 or $43 for one dose. And with some of these drugs, it's taking multiple doses to save a life.
It is.
So you're shooting in hundreds of dollars to try to save this person.
Absolutely. Nothing more important than saving a person's life.
Yes.
That's somebody's baby out there. That's someone who has, you know, for whatever reason, gone down a road where they're highly addicted. And we're talking about the disease of addiction. Opioids are like no other drugs. It's not like some of these other drugs where you can get addicted to cocaine, marijuana. When an opioid wraps itself around you, it is going to chemically change your brain. The cravings are off the chart, and it's just a different animal in and of itself. So. Very serious situation we're facing in our region here.
How can you budget for it? What needs to be done so it will be available when you need it?
Well, traditionally, law enforcement in our lane, we enforce laws. It's usually left up to EMS and fire. They have the training, the expertise to be able to administer medicines. But because of the epidemic that we're facing in our country, quite frankly, the Centers of Disease and Control has recommended that law enforcement carry Narcan. So when it comes to budgets, that's something for the county and our particular folks to be able to do that. But as you know, we're strapped in every direction as far as money goes. We're all doing more with less, and so we really appreciate the community in this particular instance reaching out to us to partner with us, because we really know that this partnership will in fact save lives.
So there's going to be a golf tournament so the community can get involved and help raise money so that people won't die because this drug is not available.
Absolutely.
So tell me about that golf tournament.
So the golf tournament's going to be held on September 7th at the Bradenton Country Club, and they're looking for sponsors. And if you're a golfer and you really want to make a difference in our community, not just have a great time on the golf course, but you really want to know that your contribution is going to really save a life.
Yeah.
Really going to save a life.
Yes, because it seems like $40-something is not much. So if you can go out and have fun playing golf and help get that money, that would be wonderful to save lives.
It's amazing to think that one dose can save a life.
Absolutely.
Yes.
That's really great.
Okay, go out and hit those golf balls. The golf tournament is September 7th. And for more information, you can go to the Manatee County Sheriff's Office for information. Next, Joey's going to tell us about the fall TV season.